Is Mark Pope the Mark Stoops of Kentucky basketball? Welcome to ESPN Louisville Plus. I'm Anna Tarullo with your instant reaction from Kentucky's abysmal 67-64 loss to North Carolina. It was not a cute game, guys, and I think it left us with a lot more questions than answers. And my main question that I have for you guys tonight is Mark Pope the Mark Stoops of Kentucky basketball? The more that I watch this season and the more with the feelings that game left with me, more questions than answers. Are our strengths, our weaknesses? What is your identity? That's how I'm feeling. So 67-64 lost to North Carolina, who's not a great team, who shot the ball horrifically. I don't respect Hubert Davis. You still find a way to lose the game. You go half of a half without making more than that, without making a freaking field goal. Here's what I mean by the Mark Stoops comment. I think for so long, Stoops did, he knew his identity was defense. It was pounding the ball. It was physicality, right? That was Mark Pope with offense. He can scheme a great half-court game, right? But now what was all the off-season chatter? With Mark Stoops, it was like, get an offense going. With Mark Pope, it's the exact opposite. But they go into this and they lose sense of who they are. They're not good at being the other guy. They're good at what they do well, which for Mark Stoops, that's defense. For Mark Pope, that's offense. But the chatter this summer was get better at defense. So Mark Pope assembles this team and loses sight of completely how to run his offense. They looked horrible. Nobody looks comfortable enough to take a shot at all. Jelly was the bright spot tonight. I will take that. He played some lockdown D on Caleb Wilson. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying to do too much. I think everything with Mark Pope, he's overthinking it. So he's like, all right, fans want defense. They want physicality. Well, first of all, you got to rebound to be able to do that. That didn't happen tonight. And just the end, I don't know, for so many reasons tonight just reminded me of a Mark Stoops coached team, which is funny since Will Stein was there. We're all in football mode. We're excited about the future. But I feel the same kind of apathy that I do towards Kentucky football of the previous 2 years. I feel that about Kentucky basketball. I'm not excited about this team, guys. After a loss like that, if it takes you that long to score a field goal, you're going to be lucky if you make the NCAA tournament. It is that bad. It's a 5-alarm fire. It's DEFCON 1. That's how I feel. Everyone's talking about this game tonight, going into it. Oh, it's a must win. It's a must win. I really didn't feel that in the same way that I felt when Kentucky football played Georgia close last season, when they played Texas close this previous season. That it doesn't matter. There's foundational issues there. And for that, I think Mark Pope is trying to be something that he isn't. It even harkened back to Calipari, right? I remember every time Calipari offense, it was all transition. I would beg, I'd scream at the TV. I'd say, just run a half court set, run any type of sophisticated scheme. So I thought that was going to be the difference maker with Mark Pope. I was excited for cerebral basketball. Where has that gone? They're not cutting the same. They're not moving without the ball. It looks like you're watching a Calipari offense. I don't understand it. I don't know. It's been a weird season. I think I haven't fully switched on from football to basketball mode yet, which is funny as well. I'm like, is this the time that UK really is a football school? Does that mean we're a football school? I'm not excited at all for this basketball game. But North Carolina isn't good, guys. They're not good at all. It just felt so Stoopsy, and I know I keep saying it, but that's all I could think all game. Your end of the game management. You can't even drop a play to get a good shot. You have Colin Chandler going in there. Where's Ochega Owe? Where has he been? How are you making him worse this season? I don't get it. So you're doing the things, your bread and butter, you're doing it bad. It's just none of it's good. That was such a winnable game for Kentucky tonight. They finished one of like 13, 14 for threes tonight. And that was a Brandon Garrison 3. I think North Carolina only had 4 threes tonight. Easily beatable team. They had injuries as well. Anybody at this point season does. It just looked like when you're watching a Kentucky football game and you're waiting for the game after and it's Alabama playing or it's Georgia, it looks like JV against varsity. Having Duke and Florida play earlier and then Kentucky come on after that, they just don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're supposed to be. If I had to pick a bright spot, it would be Jelly. Andrea Jelovich. He looked really good. I'd be looking to get him some more minutes. And I think that is one thing that I would say Pope did well tonight. He kind of adjusted Cam Williams' minutes, and I think Jelly ended up with more. He did a great job defensively. He's the only thing that's working on the offense. Fundamentally, he looks great with his back. Not great. He's the only one who can do anything with his back to the basket. Things facilitate more with him in there. But I don't know. Things look dire. They don't look good. And I think I keep questioning myself on this. I'm like, why don't I care about this team? I think it's a confusing team to care about. They don't know their own identity to begin with. They don't even know how to play together. But I just have this gut feeling it's not going to be a fun season. But how much grace do we give Pope, right? For Stoops, it was a little bit different. You're the longest tenured coach in the SEC. You have coaches at Vanderbilt who could turn it around in 3-4 seasons. At some point, it's not a compliment that you've been there that long, that you haven't been able to figure it out. This is Pope's second year. It's egregious, the money he spent on the roster. But I think the bigger deal to me is the lack of confidence to completely abandon everything that you're good at, which is an offensive scheme, which is shooting. Look at all his BYU teams and his Utah Valley teams. That's what they're good at. So I think maybe he pays too much attention to the fans and what they want. It looks like he's trying so hard to be physical, even though they can't rebound. He's trying to abandon the three, but you don't have no post players. I think things will change. When you get JQ, you get Jaden Quinn. They needed him tonight. They needed him tonight bad. But I am proud of how they handled Caleb Wilson. I really, really am. I think that would be the bright spot moving forward. But did I consider it a must-win game? No. There's injuries everywhere, but I'm not like the biggest Hubert Davis truther. I don't think it was going to show really. It wasn't like a Hercules task tonight, like you had against Michigan State or you had against even Louisville. Looked really, really good. By the way, speaking of Louisville, I think they're going to take down Arkansas this week. I'm excited for that. So I don't know. Tough week for Kentucky basketball. You got Gonzaga coming in. But yeah, my main concern is just where Pope goes from here. You can't completely abandon what you do and what you're good at and what got you the job, right? I think seeing a little bit of defense would have been nice after last season, which we have seen improvements. But still, you look at the stats, so many points in the paint, but it's all transition. And it seems like that's what I was excited when Pope got hired. I was excited to really sit down into just a really good, just smart half-court game. And they can't do that at all. Not at all. And I think you can give some grace on injuries. Everybody has injuries, but when you pay that much for a roster and you still have Brandon Garrison doing everything he can to ruin a basketball game, and it looked like there was even some fatigue problems early on with Malachi Moreno. They just don't look good. They don't look ready. And don't even get me started on not having your shirts tucked in. I'm glad the refs called it tonight. They look undisciplined, and I don't love that. So who knows where Kentucky goes from here? I guess it's just little improvements, seeing when you get people back. I think the offense does run a lot better with Jalen Lowe in there, but I don't think it fixes everything. They look like they don't know how to play with each other. So I don't know, with Pope, who overthinks everything, is he just putting things in there that it's too much for them to grasp, too much for them to handle? I'm not quite sure, but it doesn't look good in Lexington. It looks like football is the thing to be excited about. So who knows? Was Stoops right? Is Kentucky a football school? Who knows? Because I'm more excited about that now. But at the end of the day, it did not look like a blue blood matchup tonight. The loss sucks, but I don't think it told us anything that we didn't know. That's why I didn't consider it a must win. I think there was a lot of improvement, which is good. I like to see the physicality. He could work on who's getting more minutes. But aside from that, I don't know how much hope I have in this season. If you cannot score a field goal for over half of a half, that doesn't bode too well on making the NCAA tournament. All right, guys, what do you think? Are we seeing any developments with Mark Pope, or are we thinking that he is the Mark Stoops? No offense, no disrespect, no hate, no shade. of Kentucky basketball. Leave a comment below. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling after that 67-64 loss, Kentucky to UNC. And if you haven't done already, smash that like button, hit subscribe, so you stay up to date on all the latest from ESPN Louisville Plus. I'm Anna Tarullo. Thank you so much.